One thing I wanted to ask you about is that initial moment, because you've described it a few times, I've seen in previous interviews, about when you got there, it was like these real men. Like, so what was that moment like? How did that change your sort of outlook and mindset?
You know, as a young kid, I think I was, I don't want to call it fearless, I'd actually call it stupid. Nothing bothered me. You know, getting into a fight didn't bother me, nothing. I wasn't scared of anything or anybody. I'd fight people twice my age, 3 times my age, no problem. But then I realised now I'm stepping into a real man's world. This is an old nonsense bullshit world. And that happened immediately. And I remember standing on the square with 70 other recruits, and I was one of the youngest, and definitely the skinniest, or one of the skinniest. There's 2 of us that are quite skinny. And I remember looking down the line, and it was blokes with big chests, hairy chests, tattoos, moustache, you know, and I was like, wow. And I was a skinny little kid thinking, I'm out my depth. There's no way I'm going to be able to compete with these people. And that was in my mindset, and I was already starting to, you know, mentally lose it and thinking, I ain't going to do it. Then I just thought, I'm here. I'm not going back to that lifestyle. I've got to make this work. And as the weeks went by, the numbers got fewer, and I was still there. And every day I looked down the line and more people went, these big guys were going, it gave me strength, and it gave me belief. I thought, I can't fucking do this. I'm going to do this. And I started to not get cocky, I got confident and believed in myself. And every day was difficult, every day was different and hard, but I just thought, I can do this. And it went on and went on and went on, and the numbers got fewer and fewer and fewer, and I was still there. And it was hard, you know, and every day I felt like throwing my hand in, but the thing that stopped me doing it was going back to the lifestyle and the way I was. I couldn't do it. There was only one way I was going to go back to that, is if they said to me, you have failed, you're out. Until they tell me that, I'm going to keep going. And it was hard work. And at the end of it, there was 7 of us originals left, and I was the champion recruit. I was actually the best recruit for that troop. They were all great guys, don't get me wrong, but I just shone a little bit more than, and I think, to be fair, I had an advantage having been in cadets. I knew some of the basic skills, so that helped me along the way. But on the physical side of it, it was hard. It was really hard. I was up against big, hard people.
What is that, to describe the training? What's it like? The test at the start, how's that going through that?
It was difficult, you know, running with boots, running with weights, being in the gym for 40, 50 minutes of non-stop, pushing myself. I'd boxed a lot, so I was used to, you know, cardio work, but this was relentless. It was non-stop. There was no breaks, no breaks. You've been screamed at, shouted at, and you're being pushed really through your limits. And obviously the reasons for it are needed. It has to be done, and that's what they did. And yeah, I struggled with it. It was really tough. And then the sort of endurance stuff was something I wasn't really used to. You know, where in civilianisation do you run around the mountains with a house on your back? You don't. And it was building me up for the right reasons to, you know, get ready for potentially joining the battalion and going to war should it happen. And that was what it was all about. So that was difficult, getting used to that. But, you know, I embraced it. I kind of enjoyed it. Every time I did it, I felt like I'd achieved something. And, you know, I've been so used in my school career eating one word: fail. Every exam, fail, fail. When I did P Company as a young 17-year-old kid, it was the first time I'd really had the word Billingham, pass. And it was like, wow, I've just won the lottery. And I'm looking around the room of 40 of us that have attempted these tests, and I was one of 11 that got passed. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. And I really started believing in myself then. I thought, right, I can do this. And it just, so though going through it was hard, and every day, every run, although I was fit, I was saying to myself, I was kind of, the little angel was saying, throw the towel in and give up. The devil was going, run through the trees, just keep going, you know, and the devil drove me forward on this one, got me through to where I needed to be.
So what was that first experience like at war? Like, what was your first experience?
Northern Ireland, you know, and it was, at the time, back then in the 80s, Northern Ireland was, it was bad, you know. There was stuff going on the mainland, there was stuff going on in Northern Ireland, people were getting killed, getting blown up, and the enemy, if you like, if that's what we want to call them, were not face-to-face enemy. They were cowards. It was people, you don't know who you're up against. So, you know, the odds were all stacked against you. And it was, I always used to think to myself, I know we're getting trained, I know we're going to get trained irely and it's going to be to the best we can be, but you've really got to be lucky every day. They only have to be lucky once. And I knew that, so I was always on my toes. So it was nerve-wracking. You know, I was a young kid going out to Northern Ireland, and people were getting killed, and we hadn't, unfortunately we had people killed on our tour, friends of ours. So it was always in the back of your mind, every day could be your last. Not to over-dramatise it, it was always there, and it had to be there. I think it was a good thing because it kept you alert, didn't get you complacent. You've got to be on your toes every minute you step out of that door. Even when you're indoors, there was chances of getting mortared or whatever. So without painting a dull, crazy picture, it was you had to stay switched on. It was an intense time, tour.
For anyone who's getting into the military, what is that first adaptation to war? Like, is there the same thing everyone goes through? Or?
I guess so. There's two sides to it. There's the emotional side, or the worry of not coming back for your family and everybody else. That's always there for everybody. But secondly, it's challenging. It's exciting. It's like an adrenaline. This is a chance to prove myself. This is where I've trained to supposedly produce the goods, and now I'm going to go out there and produce the goods. And whether that's stopping terrorism or stopping whatever, or doing good things, that's what you're there to do. And no one knows. I don't know how I was going to react to being shot at, being close to being bombed or whatever, until you're out there and do it. And every single military person, male and female, will tell you the same. They want to go and experience it. Anybody who says they like war and war's great, they're fucking idiots. No one likes war. No one likes conflict. But that's our mainstay. That's our biggest test. A Formula One driver is trained to go as fast as he can and win a race. Dangerous, and got to do it. A soldier is there. The worst case scenario is to be put in a conflict type situation and being able to keep your head, make a clear, clarified decision, and do the right thing. And that's what I wanted to know. Can I do that? Am I capable of doing that? Am I actually capable of not just doing it, but adding something to it and making a big difference? And I will say I was fortunate too. I enjoyed it. Not the conflict, I enjoyed the decision making. I'm very much a crisis manager. I'm pretty quick on my feet, thinking up, get a decision and go. I hate planning. I hate sitting back and think. The more you think about something, the more you tie yourself in knots, the more problems you throw into it. The longer you got to plan it. What if the enemy's got this? What if that? What if that? What if the meteorite falls out the sky and lands? And you can go on forever. I like quick reaction, and my first time of conflict allowed me to realise actually I can think on my feet, and when the situation changes and ain't as clear as we thought it was going to be, I can make a decision. And every single person wants to know that. How will I react? And
so war's that test for you guys, like the ultimate test.
Yeah.
So do you get? Well, I mean, we spoke about this previously. Like you get drawn into taking that test again and again and again.
Yeah, because every time, no timing, any war, conflict, battle, whatever you want to call it, is the same. There's always surreal moments. There's always something different. It never, ever, I'll be honest with you, and I've done a lot of operational stuff, mainly with the regiment, but also with the parachute regiment. It's never, ever gone to plan. Never, ever. It goes to plan in terms of we got the right result, but what each stage we plan for, out the window. Normally from the moment you either step off the helicopter, step out your vehicle, parachute into the place, everything changes. Communications will always go down. It just happens. So now you've got to think on your feet. It's visual all the time, visual and verbal, keeping control of things. Oh my God, there's more than we expected. Oh my God, there's a minefield. Oh my God, there's civilians tied in the middle of this. How do we think on your feet? And every situation is different. And I remember some of the bizarrest of situations in conflict. In the Bosnia conflict, halfway through a horrendous sort of ground battle that was going on, is some guy washing his car like it's a Sunday afternoon. You're like, where did that just come from? What the fuck is that about? War is strange. It's nasty and it's strange. And you've got to now be able to think fast on your feet and can't just become all of aggressive and go for this. It's about changing and we live in a world of ramping up and ramping down sort of scenarios, because someone's out there trying to kill you, you've got to step it up to stop that. But in the middle of that, all of a sudden there's a family and bang, you've got to back off a bit and find another solution. You're thinking all the time. It's a lot going on and it's challenging, and yeah, I enjoyed the challenges. I enjoyed it, I didn't enjoy what the situation was, people getting killed and shit, but I enjoyed having to think and come up with a solution that's for the better.